G'day guys, welcome to episode 92 of Ask Jack D. In today's show, I take a great question around sustainability versus scalability. And a person who's part of our program asked me, Jack, you want to challenge the notion that growth is inversely proportionate to a great culture. And I do want to challenge that notion. Often we accept as entrepreneurs, as we grow, we'll lose a bit of our heartbeat. I think that that doesn't need to be true. And in this episode, I explain why and how growth cannot mean diluting who you are, but ultimately amplifying the heartbeat of your very essence.
28 and I'm trying to shape history, pulling from the sky for some strength to take with me. Line up the stars, fly away quickly and push the world forward like a tidal wave hit me. Yeah. I ride the wave swiftly, I fear no man. Check my titles made quickly.
Rosie's already chiming in with her cameo. Welcome to episode number 92 of Ask Jack D. Today we're taking a question from one of our Scalable and Stable members on Facebook, Charbel, who asks, thanks Jack, how do you plan out sustainability versus scalability? You mentioned the goal of keeping the magical feel at the Entourage even when it does get to a corporate size, and you wanted to challenge the notion, she's absolutely right around this, you wanted to challenge the notion that size is inversely proportionate to a strong culture. Hashtag AskJackD. Charbel, that's a really, really good question, and one that it's a notion that I particularly like to challenge, which is, firstly, to provide some context, I believe that a lot of great businesses and even a lot of great entrepreneurs often do their best work early on in their play, early on in their career, if you like. And I don't mean that by age, but I mean that by stage. If you look at a lot of the great entrepreneurs, even a lot of great political activists or anybody, they often did their best work when they were young at heart, fearless, had very little to lose, could push the envelope, and could be mobile and nimble and agile, and were still dreaming about what most others would consider to be impossible. Einstein is the classical example. He wrote 4 papers that changed physics and science and how we see the universe. 4 papers in 1 year. He wasn't yet a scientist. He wasn't an academic. He couldn't get a job as a teacher. He was working 6 days a week in a patent office as a patent clerk. And he wrote 4 papers that changed the world forever. He was 26 years of age. After that, he did the general theory of relativity about 10 years later. After that, he never produced work that rivaled what he was able to achieve in his early years, right? So one thing I'm always saying to my team is that as we grow, it is my wish that we do not mature. We want to become, you need to become more sophisticated. There needs to be more infrastructure. You need to operationalize better. You need to become seamless. There's commercial and there's just realities that need to happen as an organization evolves. However, if maturing means that we lose that spark and we lose that need to ruthlessly innovate every single day, and we lose that need to take risks, and we lose that fire to challenge the status quo, then we go back to the drawing board and go, how do we amp up our heartbeat with regards to this? Because I feel like we're losing it, right? What I want to be able to demonstrate with the Entourage is that as we grow, I don't want it to stifle our culture or make us, or dilute our DNA, but rather as we grow, I want it to demonstrate that growth can amplify an organization's heartbeat. And there's great organizations that demonstrate this. Atlassian is a great example. They now employ, I think, 1,200 people around the world, and they have such a magical culture. Now, 1,200 is still a small business in relative terms, in terms of headcount. However, they are doing it, right? They're growing at an incredible rate. They hire, I can't remember the exact numbers, 150, 300 people, like every sort of quarter type thing. Like just incredible growth while sustaining and amplifying a really good culture. How you do that? 2 things. Number 1, you need to bottle who you are. So you need to write down, talk about, discuss, infuse in your vision, your mission, your values, infuse in your conversations. Only recruit people who align with your DNA that you have bottled and amplified throughout your entire organization. So what do you stand for as an organization would be one principle that you need to bottle and lock down. What do you stand against? What's your protest? What's your fight? Where are you going? Why are you going there? Why is it important? What are your values as an organization? What is the essence of every human being that needs to come into your organization? right? And how do you bottle it, right? Write that down, right? I think a large part of our culture, Entourage was recently named 4th best place to work in Australia, under 100 employees. We're at about 70 now. One of the things that I think enables us to amplify our culture rather than diluting our culture as we grow is our ability to articulate what most don't. So, we recruit according to the essence of a human being. So about 6 months ago, my exec team and I were sitting down, they said, Jack, we need you to further articulate this essence of a human being. You're really good at seeing it and you pick it. But you need to teach us how to pick it so that we can pick it as good as you can. And so I needed to further articulate. So we're now creating, probably a 60 to 80 page document. It's like a HR Bible, if you like, around that essence of the human being. And what do we look for in terms of who are they at a soul level? Who are they at a spiritual level? What have they been through at a heart level? So I go soul, heart, head, hand. Soul, who are they at a spiritual level? Heart, what have they been through? How are they as a person? Head, are they intellectually switched on? And hand, do they have a strong work ethic? And articulating how you identify that in somebody and the right questions to ask, right? So when you obsess over this stuff, you can bottle what most other people would just think is magic and is uncapturable, the elusive shit, right? You can bottle it, just obsess over it. The second way you do it is, so bottle what you stand for, bottle who you are, and secondly, always be reminding everybody, your leadership team, yourself, the public, your market, your consumers, your database, always be reminding everybody, bringing everybody back to who we are, where we're going, why we're going there, what the purpose is. Always come back to the principles that you bottled in the first example I gave you. That needs to be the foundation of every discussion, every marketing campaign, every sales conversation, every way we operationalize, every way we productize. Every meeting we have as a team is always premised on who are we, where are we going, what are our values, what do we stand for, and how are we amplifying that, right? And I think that if you can do both, it's held true for me thus far and I expect it to continue. If you can do both really, really well and obsess over all of it using a lot of the stuff I've given you in this show, I think growth can equal amplification of DNA rather than dilution of DNA.
I've just actualized a wish that I dreamed as a kid. Cause I'm lining